Hi, what's up? It's Zerb the Geek, and today I'm talking about my 10 favorite sitcoms of all time. Yes, the sitcom, the staple of any binge-watching session. I believe that everybody has a sitcom that they personally love, and apparently I'm extremely indecisive because I have like 5 favorite sitcoms. And with that in mind, let's get to the list. So, this is probably the least well-known sitcom on this list, given that it was on for 2 seasons on the Disney Channel and about 5 years ago. Basically, it's set in Portland, and on a teenager's birthday, he designs a tough-looking puppet that comes to life. They seem to be against each other at first, but develop an unbreakable bond and go on weird adventures. As a younger child, I loved this show, but now, sadly, I bet I just cringe. Once again, another show that only lasted 2 seasons. Despite the fact that it aired more recently than Crash and Bernstein, it ranks lower on my list because I just lost interest in it after season 2. I have bigger fish to fry when it comes to TV. The show's about a poor hustler played by Caitlin Olsen who is asked to take care of her niece and 2 nephews after their rich parents are arrested. She moves into their mansion in Greenwich Village, and she immediately befriends the feisty housemaid Elba, and she has to deal with the bratty children as well. It's a funny show, but probably the most risque of all the shows on this list. It jumped the shark countless times, and that just added insult to injury. Brooklyn Nine-Nine follows police detective Jake Peralta, played by the great Andy Samberg, as he serves as the comic relief for the tough Precinct 99 in Brooklyn, hence the name. This was a very funny show primarily because it featured true and New York crime through the eyes of a comedic perspective. The show had good acting, and I believe it sent Terry Crews into stardom. It was canceled recently by Fox, but was picked up by NBC, so you can still enjoy the company of Jake Peralta, Charles Boyle, Hitchcock, and Scully, and countless other hilarious cops. Fresh Off the Boat is a family comedy based on the true story of Eddie Huang, a Chinese teen who moved from Chinatown in Washington, D.C. to Orlando after his father pursued a restaurant career. This is a very funny show because it takes place in the 1990s, so it's even surreal to hear about whatever Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. were doing at the time when they were still alive. Eddie loves hip-hop and rap and struggles living with his 2 younger brothers. There are multiple seasons of the show, and I've only seen season 1, but what I've seen so far is good enough to place it in front of 3 other comedies, so that's already a great sign. This is by far the oldest sitcom on this list. Starring in 1993 and ending in 2002, Frasier is the sequel series to Cheers, arguably one of the best comedies, nay, the best TV shows of all time. It follows one of Cheers' most famous characters, Dr. Frasier Crane, played by Kelsey Grammer, after he divorced his wife and moves in with his old father and pesky dog, rest in peace Eddie Spaghetti. Crane has his own psychology radio show, which makes him a celebrity in Seattle. He gets to know Daphne Moon, a British woman who takes care of his father. This is a classic family comedy that proves the point that even if you're distant or not even related at all, a family can even consist of a radio star, his prim opera expert brother, their hardened but happy father, and his eccentric and British caretaker. Now, before you get your pitchforks out and scream, "Why is The Office at number 5?" Please note that I love the show, but I also love the other 4 shows ahead of it, and yes, I do indeed understand its humor, thank you very much. People all around me practically worship The Office, and I can't blame them. The Office starts off a little dull. I mean, after watching the first episode, I actually thought people like this, but after season 2, I got into the swing of things, and now I really do enjoy the show. Jim and Pam are cuter than Ross and Rachel. There, I said it. More on them later. Superstore is all about the people that work at a big box store near St. Louis, Missouri. I think it's up for debate over who is the main character of the show, because sometimes it feels like America Ferrer's Amy is the main character, and other times it feels like Ben Feldman's Jonah is. Either way, it packs a punch as strong as the greats, and it should, because it came from the same channel as The Office and other hit comedies. Season 5 airs soon, and I hope the show will be remembered as a hit long after its farewell season. So no one told you life was gonna be this way. Ah, yes, Friends. This truly is a show that once you start, you cannot stop. I once watched 12 episodes in one day. Now let's do some math here. Each episode is about 20 minutes, so 20 times 12 equals 240 minutes. 240 divided by 60 minutes is, 4 hours. I watched 4 hours of Friends. For those who don't know about the glorious show, Friends follows 6 friends from college as they continue adult life together in New York and try to find love and happiness. Matthew Perry's character, Chandler Bing, is the funniest sitcom character of all time in my personal opinion. Friends will always be there for us, but it won't be there on Netflix in 2020 because it's leaving. Rally the troops. It's petition time. Parks and Rec follows the workers at a parks department in fictional Pawnee, Indiana. Amy Poehler plays the energetic and enthusiastic Leslie Knope, and Nick Offerman's tough breakfast food-loving Ron Swanson is the funniest sitcom character behind the aforementioned Chandler from Friends. Parks and Rec was just like The Office and Superstore, but it was even funnier. Somehow they took something so boring, such as a town hall department, and made it the funniest sitcom ever. But through all the laughing and crying through this great show we all love, there's one show that has one slight edge. Drum roll, please. Sorry about that. I know what you're thinking. Excuse me? After Friends, The Office, and Parks and Rec, this is your favorite sitcom. How? Well, here's my answer. Imagine if you took the survivalist settings of both The Walking Dead and Lost, and then combined the two with every Edgar Wright movie ever, and then signed contracts with SNL alums such as Will Forte and Jason Sudeikis, and you have The Last Man on Earth, a show that's both a blessing from heaven and a gift from hell all at the same time. The show follows a nobody named Phil Tandy Miller. A virus kills almost everyone on Earth except for him and some other complete strangers. Right before he commits suicide due to loneliness, he discovers Carol Pilbagian, played by the very talented Kristen Schaal, whom you might recognize as the voice of Louise Belcher on Bob's Burgers, but that's a video for another time. One thing leads to another, and a little settlement forms of various characters, such as a mentally ill woman with violence issues, an Australian lady with a criminal past, a grammar stickler, and an old man in a hazmat suit. They move from place to place, characters come and go, people are born and people die. This truly is my favorite sitcom of all time. I'd more than recommend it. Once this video is finished, however you can, watch The Last Man on Earth and say Zorba sent you.